Hey guitar players, in this lesson I want to talk about developing ideas when you're improvising, okay? So this is a conversation that I have again with a lot of students once you've moved past learning your fretboard, getting some technique down and all that stuff. It's like, how do I go and play some ideas? Well, I draw my ideas from a subject that I have called the scale pyramid, okay? Now, this thing is not something that I have invented. It's just a way of naming some stuff that already exists. It's a way of packaging up musical devices that are available to you. And it's kind of like what I do, my thought process as I play. Now, the thing is with this, what I do is not going to be up to everyone's taste, in the same way that, you know, like there's lots of people out there who don't like to listen to Joe Satriani but do like to listen to Peter Green, and absolutely vice versa. There's people who will like, say, what Jeff Loomis does with the guitar and go, well, that Peter Green stuff's fucking rubbish, I don't want to listen to that. So the point is, this stuff is all subjective. However, I think the stuff I'm going to talk about here anyone can use, you just don't have to use it the way that I use it. So, I've set up a backing track here. It is a blues rock backing track in D. Let's have a quick listen to it. So, generally what's going to work over this, I'm going to use, well, a mixture of things like minor pentatonic and blues scale. But I'll probably use a little bit of Dorian. I'd also get away with a bit of Mixolydian on this. What you have to do with this as a track, you have to just be careful around what you're doing around the thirds. You can majorize it, minorize it. There's not a lot of difference between Dorian and Mixolydian. It's all in the third, which we won't talk about in this video because it could go on for ages. But let's say if I'm going to base my ideas mainly around Dorian, what I'm going to do, instead of just playing the actual scale, what I will do is look at extracting from that scale a number of different devices. We could do this just in one position. So that's one position of the scale, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to say that the full scale gives me 7 notes that I can play with, and that's my bass. So if I just take that shape, I'll do a little bit of messing around in that shape over the track. Comes out. You know, this is improvisation, but it's also, this is up to you. You do what you want to do with the full shape. Now, what I'm also now going to do is I'm going to go up a tier of what I call the scale pyramid to the next level, and I'm going to knock off one of the notes. So I'm now not going to play with 7 notes, but I'm only going to play with 6. This is called a hexatonic option. Let's have a listen to the hexatonic scale itself over the track. So, the hexatonic scale is 6 notes. So what I'm now going to have is the root, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, and flat 7. So I'm not playing a major 6 or a minor 6. The minor 6 really doesn't work over this track at all. But sometimes the major 6 might not be the one as well. So we go for that hexatonic approach. There is all based around not playing the 6. So the next step on the scale pyramid, so to speak, is to go to hexatonic. Now, of course, everyone knows pentatonic, so this will just be 5-note options. So I can just mess around with the normal pentatonic scale. Actually, I just added a flat 5 in of the blues scale there, but you can do that. Again, I just did the flat 5 there, it just kind of, it comes to your ear naturally as a blues and rock guitar player. So then if you go up from the 5-note options up to 4-note options, we can mess around with the arpeggios. So there's just D minor 7. D minor 7 sounds like this. Then if we just take the D minor triad, that's 3-note options. Things like intervals, that's 2-note interactions, so I would play something like thirds. I like to mess around with thirds. So you go back to using the whole scale and you play intervallic leaps of thirds like this. That's something that I like to do as well. Now, I've pretty much gone through that process just in one position for you, because what I'm saying is, this is what I would base a lot of my ideas around, is those different options. However, I wouldn't be stuck in one position, and I wouldn't just use only say one technique. So what I would do, at one point I'll be using a pentatonic, then I'll go into a scalar run. I might do my scalar run with legato playing. I might do that with alternate picking. We can then go off into an arpeggio based thing. We might use a bit of triads and different phrasing, different rhythmic groups and all that sort of stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jumble up a bunch of techniques and just move around the fretboard, going from scales to arpeggios. And there's no specific order that I do this in. Hopefully, if you just have a listen out and see what I'm doing, you'll be able to spot intervallic parts, triadic parts, etc. Let's see what comes out. Just a little bit of jamming on that stuff for you guys, but hopefully as that's going through, I was trying to think of a few different things, but every now and then what I'm doing is I'm just breaking everything up. So I'm doing scalar stuff, and then I'll be doing a triad, and then there'll be some pentatonics, intervallic things. For example, this stuff here, that's kind of a nice combination of looking at a pentatonic scale but also using the intervals within it. So all this stuff here, 4th intervals with inside that minor pentatonic, which sounds interesting. And then of course there's other different pentatonics that live within the scale. So at various points I was doing things that would go from maybe A minor to D minor and E minor. Etc, etc. There is so much stuff that you can do with this, it's unbelievable. But if you've enjoyed this, if you find this approach is interesting, Firstly, give the video a like and subscribe to the channel so you see more of these videos when I do them. And also, make sure that you check out my online learning platform, Cutting Edge Guitar, because there is just so much stuff on there now. It's unreal, and I'm absolutely positive that it can help you out if you are a contemporary style guitar player. So, I look forward to seeing you in another video. I hope this has been helpful, and you guys take care.